Hello, my friends. How are you feeling? Seriously, how are you feeling? Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it this evening? I'm wiping mosquitoes away from my ears. Anyway, I want to get into tonight, this afternoon, today. It's going to be fear. We're going to talk about it. And you've got a lot of fear. I know. And you might not want to admit to it, but I know you do. Sometimes I do as well. The best thing I can do is many things. Whoa. I want to talk about some of these things tonight. I want to talk about changing your mindset. I want to talk about what that looks like. I want to talk about whether fear means forget everything and run, or it means face everything and rise. Which one are you? Which one? Before you answer that, let's take a moment to think about what that all means. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to talk about three things that come up many times, and they come up most frequently with my clients. They come up with many people that I talk to as well. So it's not just unique to my clients. It's in the work that I do and the things that I've been doing, and what that means, because it means it definitely can mean a whole large. It can definitely mean a larger problem if it persists down the road. It means pain. It means struggle. It means emotional issues. It can mean where it could definitely mean trauma that ensues if you don't look after it. So the three top things that I see that I've been working with in the line of work that I've been doing is the first one is the fear of things going wrong. The fear of things going wrong. And what happens when we fear things going wrong? What do we do, men? What do we do? I'm looking right at you. We don't do anything. We don't do anything. Or we pretend nothing's happening. It's not affecting us. Instead of being vulnerable, as Aaron Doughty talks about. Being vulnerable actually will help maneuver you out of the stuck, out of the feeling fearful. And I'm not saying that this is a bad thing that you're feeling fearful, because there are many moments in my life, there are still moments in my life where I do have some fear, and I'm working on those. But the fear of doing things wrong for many men out there is real. And we get to have those thoughts about how that feels. It doesn't feel great. But here's what happens in a bit of a story. The fear of doing things wrong. As a kid growing up, I had a lot of fear of doing things wrong. And sometimes I would not do things because I just felt that I wouldn't be able to do it right anyway. So I just didn't do it. I learned how to ride my bike all on my own, but I was fearful of anyone teaching me for the fear of not being able to do it right and being embarrassed in front of that person. And then one day I just got on my bike, swung my legs, put them on the pedal, put my feet on the pedals, and I went for it. And I had that balance, and it was the biggest breakthrough of courage that I remember having as a 7-year-old. I think that the fear you have, the fear that I have of things going wrong, the thing that we need to prime ourselves with, the new program is, what if everything goes right? What if everything goes right? What if? And it's getting past that fear, that obstacle, that moment where you have to have courage. You get to choose whether you're going to stay there in the comfort zone that you're in, or you get to move on and move past it. That courage is fear being known. Courage is fear being known. You make that choice. The second thing that comes up for me within the work that I do is being a failure. Being a failure. And that is something that we have been groomed in society, I believe, to feel like it is the doom and gloom. It's been debilitating at times. It has been an energy that has succumbed, that I've succumbed to because I have felt like a failure because things didn't work out. And the thing that many of my mentors have said is over time is failure is just another ladder on the rung. It's just another cog in the wheel. It is the difference between somebody being successful and not, and many people have heard this analogy before. They have failed many more times than you have. But here's the thing, you give up. And if you give up, you succumb to that fear of being a failure. And that becomes who you are. It can. It has happened. It happens to many. And as men, what do? Again, fight or flight, freeze or fawn. We don't do anything. Or we pretend it's not a thing. Don't we? Don't you dare deny it. I know that you're thinking about it. The third thing we as men deal with when it comes to fear is not being enough. The fear of not being enough for our wife, significant other, partner, or kids. We're not going to be enough dad. We're not going to be enough spouse. We're not going to be enough of a partner. And that's all rubbish. That's all something that starts that has taken over our thoughts and our subconscious minds for way too long. Because you are every bit of the man that you don't believe you are. You are every bit. You are the strength that you need, but you just don't believe it. But you need to, because everything that you have, you can unlock within yourself. You just need to see it for yourself. My man, you just need to see it for yourself. And that is something that I have personally had to work with within my own relationship, especially this one. I didn't feel like I was enough for my wife. And what it would do was it would have an effect on the polarity, my masculine frame. It would have an effect on my confidence. And when that would show up, it would send a message to my wife that I wasn't safe. And where that would show up in different situations, it would be awkward. Sometimes it would be within groups of people. Sometimes it would be just her and I. Sometimes it would be with the kids. And again, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's just knowing you are everything. You are everything within this frame, my friend. You just need to see that. So all of this, all of the fear that we encapsulate within our body is something that I see within my clients. And it is something that has, it turns into something of a physical ailment, illness within their frame. Mm-hmm. It kicks on the stress. It kicks on the hack. And we put pain in low vibrational tissues. Mm-hmm. And that is something that I am helping my clients. I help my clients work through. And it's all about reprogramming the thoughts, the subconscious, and understanding that what we go through on a daily basis when we think we're a failure, it's actually a great life lesson. We're okay to have the emotions. Energy, emotion, emotion. It's okay to have the thoughts, but let them go, because you're not a failure. You've just developed a belief around failure and equated it to yourself, because you have gone out, created a confirmation bias in everything that would fail for you, or things that you cast out into the world, and they don't work. You confirm that with the bias that you have, and that reconfirms the belief you have around the failure that you think you are. And you're not. You're not. You just keep telling yourself the wrong thing. And I'm here to show you that you're none of that. And what if things go right? What if things go right? What if you go all in? You put 2 feet in and you go for it. One of the conversations I had just this evening was, what if everything goes right? And the fear that's there inside of you is the tidal wave that you need to hit. It is the video that you need to make. It is the person that you need to talk to that you keep putting off. It is the family member that drives you nuts that you have to speak your truth to. And you keep putting that off too. You don't phone them. You don't talk to them. You reschedule yourself because the appointment that you scheduled yourself for freaks the hell out of you. And I'm not making light of any of these things because they are things that affect people on a daily. But where do you draw the line? When are you going to draw the line? Where do you draw the line? When are you going to draw the line? When is this too much for you that you cannot go any further without taking action in your life? Because it's starting to have a health effect on you. It's starting to debilitate. It's starting to have an effect on your everyday life. So now, guess what? You got to hit this with this tidal wave head on. There's no getting away from it now. Head on. You take that surfboard, you ride it right through. And you get rid of, you drop the rules. You get rid of the thought of what it's going to do, because you're going to make it. You're going to get to the other side. And guess what? You are going to be that much stronger. And you're going to be that much happier. And you're going to be that much confident, more confident in yourself, because you did it. Okay? Fear is just another stage. It is necessary. It is the pressure that we need, that we get to put on ourselves to get it done. Why not change the way we look at fear? Why not change the way we look at it? Face everything and rise. Hit the tidal wave head on. Change your mindset, the way you look at it. Look at it like, this is presented me. This is being presented to me now. I get to look after it, or I don't. But I'm choosing to look after it now. And it has shown up because it is showing up to show me a valuable lesson, and I'm going to grow. I'm going to be that much more confident, and I'm going to be able to show people, including myself first, that I can do it. How does that feel? How does that feel to be able to think about yourself being able to do that? You see, this, I believe, is the baseline for all that, which is change your mindset towards all of this. You've got to rejig. And it's taken months for me to be able to rejig some of these things, because how I look at thoughts and things and situations, I've had to reevaluate all of them, and I have to catch them. I catch them on a daily. Yes, I do. I catch my own thoughts on a daily in times where I go, well, this might not work. But what if it does? And then you get to think about, if you think like I do, you go, how did that thought get there in the first place? Where did I ever get that thought? How did it get into my head? And then you go, who cares? I'm letting that go too. with this thought that I had, that I hadn't had before, that I thought that I had, follow me so far, resolved it, is showing up. So you change your mindset, because the same thought that got you into the fear is not going to be the one that takes you out of it. Did you know when an airplane that has 4 engines blows an engine, the pilot that lands it is not the same pilot that takes the plane off. That takes the plane into maintenance, that flies it out of that location. Did you know that? Do you know why that is? Because they want somebody that has the eyes and non-bias ability to be able to see things, to be able to be alert, to be able to fly it with fresh eyes and a fresh mind. The same pilot that landed the plane successfully, that had 4 engines and blew 1, will not be the same pilot that takes it out. So my analogy is, the same thought that brought you to the fear, you have to raise your vibration. You have to be the one that thinks about, how do I get out of this state of fear? How do I get out of it? How do I lift myself out of it? And the same thought that got you in won't be the same thought that gets you out. It'll be something of what I suggested. What if things go right? What if you're not a failure? What if you're everything that you need to be? What if you are not the one that does everything wrong? You do everything right. You just think you do everything wrong because you're the perfectionist. Okay? Now, I've said everything I needed to say, that I wanted to say. I'm looking for some comments on this one, because I want to know how you feel about it. And if this video resonated with you, I want you to contact me, because I want to know how you feel about it. And if it really resonated you to the point where you've been watching a number of my videos and it ignited something in you, and you're like, okay, today, this afternoon, I'm calling Jesse. I made the decision. I'm doing it. This is the time. This is the right time. Do it, man. Do it. Because you will be the rock star in your life. You will be the change that you've always wanted to be. And with that, Jesse out. I've said everything I wanted to say. Take care. Let's do this.